matter. I mean, I was interested. I'd like to just have a discussion on the book. I thought it was intense.
Right.
Like,
it also kind of shows like how I guess shielded we are from sort of the outside world.
no kidding.
I was reading like I don't know if it said like if it said in the book like in the exact years it took the serial took place Civil War.
It had in the back
It did.
a time.
What happened like it happened all during my older sister's like. And I was asking her about this, and she said that she never. Like,
Right.
Your sister would have been like super young. Wasn't
she was born in 1992. This war ended in 2000. She was in 10. She would have been 10.
But a lot of stuff happened in the 90s.
But yeah, as far like
late 90s.
Ishmael's story happened early 90s.
Early
Yeah.
90s, okay, right.
Okay.
That
All right. First question: did you like the book? Or not? Why or why not? So, I thought it was like a really good book. Like the subject matter is really sad. It was a good book.
In regards to like liking it, is this recording?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. In regards to liking it, I mean, going off what you said, that it's a very good book, but it's not exactly something that I would recommend at the same time because it is a very depressing and a very blunt book that like this is what happened. At 13 I went to war.
I would recommend it just because I think that it's important for people to read about this kind of story.
Exactly. Like I had basically no knowledge about this war until I read this book.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a good way to get informed and also get that experience. Like, you're not in TOK. Are you in TOK?
No.
Yeah, but we can just get a gist
We were
of how it
sort of discussing. One thing we discussed in TOK is concrete versus abstract, and like abstract is things like stats and stuff. So like you can have like there was some famous quote. I think it was actually by Stalin, but it was a million deaths is a number, one death is a tragedy, or something like that. And so this story is a good way of like giving us like the concrete experience of what happened. What's happening.
Yeah, because it's kind of like you're following along to this one person's story, you're rooting for him and all this stuff, and along the way you kind of have to come to terms with like, oh, what about all these people he killed, like, how do I feel about that?
Also, like, it's a lot, more, I guess, impactful since it's through, like, the eyes of the kid versus just, like, an article you read online. It's like, the Civil War, happened between blah, 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 this one just died. I read that on Wikipedia. But this is like, here's what I saw, here's what I lived through, and here's my experience. And I think that definitely adds a whole new
Yeah, I think it also provides really interesting insight into my because like when I think of that, I kind of just think of like U.S. soldiers coming back from Iraq, and that's obviously prevalent. So like in our culture, like around the world, there's much thousands of child soldiers and what they're like Syrian war. It was easier than email experience and everything that have like severe PTSD and like can't sleep, have terrible headaches, things like that.
And like, yours was like he experienced this all when he far younger than us.
You know what was like such a crazy moment for me in this book was when like they're when they're in the first like rehabilitation center and like it's the rebel kids and like the army kids and like the kids from the rebels were like the army killed my family, like basically the same experience but on the other side. So it's like
exactly, yeah.
It was like whoa.
It's like that's why there wasn't really like a solution because these people were brainwashed to think about like the other side of the enemy.
I totally forgot
based on their own experiences.
Like that's what the first time.
You can't exactly like build that relationship with these two each other.
That fight was just like crazy scary. Like these kids just started attacking people.
Yeah. It's like you kind of have to wonder, like, just as someone who wants to kind of go into this field of work with international relations and humanitarian work, like I'm interested in the kind of process that the UNICEF workers go through before. Because they kind of, I mean, they talk about having the scene of like, oh, it's not your fault, like all this stuff. It's kind of like, when were they allowed to step in? Were they allowed to like break up fights? And like, what were they able to say to these kids? Because I feel to some extent, like they can't, like they obviously did a good job with a lot of the kids, but it took a really long time, and I wonder what the process was. Because obviously it wasn't from their perspective. perspective.
I think it's also like kids, they act a lot slower with things. I mean, it's not like an adult where they're done developing and all that. With kids, I mean, they're essentially brainwashed since they were small.
Yeah.
With little kids, I feel like it's a lot harder to have them unlearn this hatred from the inside.
Also, that crazy thing is like they're kids, and he's talking so much about like how he belongs all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that just gets you like must have been like a gross for
Yeah, and it kind of just shows the reality of like the war, because when I was reading it, the first part of the book when they only talked about the rebels, in my mind I was like, oh, like, you know, the government army must be so much better than the rebels are, you know, like they must not be acting like this much like savage. And then it kind of switched over and you're like, am I reading about the rebels or am I reading about the army?
yeah.
Like, they seem the exact same.
Yeah, like the fact that the army was actually raiding villages too.
Also,
like,
like, just as bad, right?
it's just
And
like,
it seems like they weren't gonna like kill civilians at first, and then they started to, and I didn't like. It was hard for me to like catch up because I thought their whole point was kind of to like keep civilians out of the rebel-controlled area.
and it doesn't even seem like there's that much organization on either side. Like it's just groups of people basically.
One saying I'm the army, the other saying I'm the rebels.
And neither of them really seem like they have any money. Like they kind of find everything from looting villages. It's not like one side is significantly more well-armed than the other. It's just kind of like they're finding what they can, taking what they can. It's like both sides are kind of just going as
And then
it
you,
please.
I think it's just one big guerrilla warfare type thing.
Another awful moment was after he had gotten back from the UN visit, and like what was that city called? It was Freetown.
Yeah.
Freetown, and Freetown starts getting raided, and he's just like, hey, it's just he and Muhammad were like, they were like, oh God, not again, and
Yeah.
what'd you guys think about him like not running away, but like sort of just leaving? Like, I felt bad for. On one hand, like I felt really bad for him, but on the other hand, I sort of ditched his foster, not even his foster, but his family.
I see where like the tricky part of that would be, but I think kind of my outlook on it was, I think the family that he was with would completely understand, and I kind of get like, a little bit of like a selfish way of like just not wanting to carry like a big group of people because it's more of a risk. And honestly, I think when he left, he wasn't super optimistic. He wasn't like, I'm gonna make it back. He was just kind of like, I'm gonna go as I please and see how this turns out, because in his mind he's just like, I'm as good as dead right now. And also I think it kind of like the only reason it had like a spark of motivation was kind of because of his trip to New York.
Yeah, it's true. The woman who's gonna be. It was kind of funny how he just sort of started like talking about how the storytelling graphic would eventually be his mother. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the whole style, like the way he writes, it's almost simplistic, but it was like sort of fresh, and I really liked it.
It was kind of like a way a fiction novel would be written, where it's kind of like popping things out of nowhere and like creative. But I kind of like, of course, just being like myself and having like a conscience, I wanted to read past what he wrote. I wanted to read the rest of his life, and like obviously at this point he had gotten back. Like as he was writing this, he obviously had gotten back to the U.S. and he probably had gone to college at this point. So like I kind of wanted that like happy ending, even though it kind of just like left off like, okay, he's passed all these checkpoints and he's in Guinea, but like we don't know if he gets over, even though he hints at it. Like,
I was like lying in bed last night because I finished the book a few days ago, and I'm like, wait, I don't remember how the book ended, and how it literally ended was him making it to the embassy, and then he just starts talking about that story.
Yeah, and you have no idea like that was like being attacked, like all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it was really interesting.
But I guess I get it, because I feel like his impact on the book was to make people happy and hopeful for the fate of child soldiers. It wasn't really to be like, here's your happy ending. It was kind of to be like,
Here's what happened.
this is the reality. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you exactly what I saw, and this story would be similar for thousands of other boys who probably still live in Sierra Leone. And also with everything going on with like South Sudan now, and the fact that like even after this civil war and after like the Rwandan genocide, it's like everyone just kind of is like, oh, this happened and now we're moving on, but like countries can't really move on from that as fast as we think they can. And I feel like this kind of just opens this discussion about how much more we can be doing for places that have been like previously war torn, or like where can we step in the terms of like child soldiers, because in Sudan they're obviously using thousands of child soldiers right now.
I was reading an article like about, I was one of the people who like reviews this book. I was curious what it was about, and like a lot of them all have had the same notion that this was too hard and too blunt and everything, and they didn't bother sugarcoating anything. And I'm like, why would you ever want to do that? Like, I guess they do have some merit saying like, there's no clear ending, like what happens to other soldiers, well, why? So you're like,
and it's like, well, that's the reality.
yeah. Like, what do you expect when they're dead?
It's
What do
a
you want me to say?
reflection. I think it's a reflection on those reviewers, like just how shielded they are.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I thought
how
that when I
entitled
first
they
read
feel.
it, like,
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Exactly.
why didn't you tell me what happened to X, Y, and Z? Like, okay, I'll tell you what happened. They got shot and killed.
Right.
What other questions?
Here's a good one. What questions would you ask the author if you could? Would I ask him? I imagine myself in the converse, like if I met him, what I would say to him, but I'm more of like I wouldn't, the thing is, if I was in a conversation with him, I wouldn't want to bring up this stuff unless he was comfortable, really comfortable with it, which is probably gotta be at this point. So I was thinking, maybe I'd just like talk to him about like rap music or something like that. Like,
Yeah, because that's kind of like a theme that went on after he was like, after he escaped being a soldier, where he like didn't really want people to bring it up, and he didn't really want people to talk about it, and it's like, obviously he's technically like better now, but I'm sure he still has like many traces of PTSD, and it's like, I don't know, I mean, I'd want to ask him about his life after,
Yeah.
and I'd want to ask him about how much he keeps in touch, what he does now to like, does he work with organizations, does he like do something to make a difference for the other people who are still stuck in Sierra Leone, like I just wonder his connection with it, or if he kind of like cut off all ties after he got to the US.
That's kind of cool. That's like a totally different question for like memoirs versus like other books. Like,
Yeah, because they're still alive, they're still there, and they their story is still like being written.
It's like, I wonder, I wonder if, going off this, like when he left his school, his family to like, get to the US, did he ever try to like, did he ever regret that decision? Like, did he ever maybe go back and think, should I have, come on, left?
Did he keep contact?
Right. Oh yeah, something too. Like, did he bother trying to keep in touch, or did he just move on? And did he, like, did he ever attempt to maybe rescue his family, or did he just say, you're on your own?
I also like, parenting ignorance. I like read through the timeline, and I don't necessarily understand the motives and concepts of all the different political parties. Because I was reading it and seeing like who took over what and when did this person overthrow this person, but it's like I don't really understand which one of them were necessarily like good or bad, or like what necessarily like the platforms were. So I kind of like, not necessarily asking him, but I would ask anyone really to kind of walk through that and explain to me how it kind of got to that point,
It's definitely the timeline. There's like a long time between like when the rebels started attacking and the party that was in power was like originally took power. And I don't know. It's just crazy that they rebel and then they're trying to act like they're doing it for the civilians, but then they're literally just slaughtering civilians. It's like,
yeah, that kind of turnaround between it. And I wonder like I also kind of wonder what the status of like drug use is in the country currently.
I mean, it might. I was about to say it's probably super lax, but then it might not actually be lax technically. But the thing is, they can't really enforce it or something like that.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, I mean, after the war, I wonder if they kind of were trying to take actions against it, or if it was kind of just like, this is the
I
reality.
mean, didn't it say that they had the children on drugs disorders, but they probably developed an addiction after that.
Yeah.
There's that whole part of the rehab where they were like detoxing.
Right, because I mean, obviously, not very many of the soldiers got to have that process of being in like isolation with, you know, like UNICEF workers and all that kind of stuff. They didn't have that detox.
What the heck those white tablets were that they first gave the people? It was like, these will give you energy.
I thought they were just like sugar pills. Like they just tried to give the kids a very intense placebo.
No, I think
So I think it was actually something.
I think it was something.
Yeah.
I kind of thought it was maybe some sort of like pain medicine because of how addictive those are, like, you know, like Oxy or like.
Maybe, but I thought it might have been like steroids because I don't know. He was talking about after, like they gave him like 2 years. Yeah, maybe that.
That gives people a lot of energy, and also mixed with the other drugs that they were taking, it probably like had a different kind of effect than it normally would.
I was like surprised they weren't all like collapsing into just like such a like mixing drugs like.
And it was like that was the tactic of the soldiers to train kids to become numb, because they were making them like literally feel numb when they were going out to kill people. And it was kind of like this association between killing and being on drugs and like this sense of like almost euphoric like feeling.
Making
No, at first I thought.
totally trying
You
to desensitize them to it.
Right.
I think I missed it from like I had an occasional
And so I would
Did they ever say what like brown was? Because that was
They said it was a mixture of cocaine and something else that they found like in the country. It was kind of like either like a dirt or like a root or something. Because it was like they would like smoke and then they would take cocaine and then they would also take like brown. So it was kind of like just a multiple drug concoction.
Yeah, see.
in the end I had to, you know, so that's why I say it 4 times.
Well, here's the question: what was your favorite passage, chapter, and anecdote, and why?
I don't like that question, Mr. Lau.
Not for this book.
There's only like 4 people.
We came out exactly
More than any other year. Well, my
Did the main character change?
I think I got one.
How so?
So yeah.
Do you like him or her better by the end of the book or not? Why or why not?
No.
I say no. I think I like him as much as I did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because the beginning you kind of see his true personality, and in the end it kind of returns to his true personality.
Yeah.
So like maybe it's someone who's become wiser and more well versed on world issues, but I don't think that was necessarily his growth. It was forced upon him.
Yeah. No. So the main character obviously changed. What I liked, I guess it was just a sad story. You just felt bad.
still laughing about that picture. It's
bad
like,
for him because I don't know if there is like a worse way to lose your innocence.
Right, and it's like when you see him, he's not just a single person, he's a representation of everyone in the country in that time. So you're not just looking at his experience, his personal growth, you're looking at a very similar experience for thousands of people, and that's kind of like the way you see it. It's not necessarily like this is strictly a one-person story.
It's not like this whole ordeal can only be, like applied. It's all very, what's the word? I can't think of it right now, but it's kind of like going off what you said about how this whole experience.
So once
and
we're done
how
talking,
you're
do we talk
forced
about
into this, I guess, life of being a child soldier, how can it really like stunt your growth and stunt who you are. So in regards to the change, I mean, whether or not I like the change is kind of indicative of the question, but why I liked him at the end, at the beginning, it's, the contrast is very, they kind of parallel each other, and that, I wouldn't say that he changed more in the middle, because I feel like him at the end and him at the beginning are very similar in regards to, I mean, obviously it's different, but like I feel like his change happened more in the middle during the midst of his whole experience being a soldier. So I feel like him at the end is very, the way he lives life is like him as a person is very similar to that as a baby kid. I feel like now he's past all of it.
There's something to be said for how much time they like just reading the passages about what his life as a soldier was like over the course of a small period of time. But time-wise, he was a soldier for like 3 years. So it's basically everything we read, but amplified almost by that. So there's also, at the same time, age-wise, I mean, he's an adolescent, and like, he was closer to the beginning of adolescence when he first became a child soldier, and then at the end, he was 16 or something like that. So, a bit closer to our age.
Describing.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
If you had to recommend this book to fellow listeners, what would you say?
I'd say,
Brace yourself.
yeah, I'd say read this book, it's really important. And I'd say, like, go into it with an open mind and don't look at it from the perspective of someone who doesn't fall to church. Look at it from the perspective of just as a human being, you know?
So I wouldn't recommend thinking that one side, I wouldn't think like one side, like the rebels versus the army. Don't think that one is good and one is bad, because as we learned that one, that there's pretty much, according to him at least, he thinks that the differences between them are few and far
I think that's part of the experience, though, is that realization in the middle of the book that they aren't that different.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you're being kind of tricked into this whole thing as well.
That one side is morally better, and that one, oh, what I'm doing is right. It's just this whole thing is false.
I would definitely recommend it, and I would just say, be ready. There's gruesome, graphic stuff in it. I guess that warning that Loud gave us at the beginning.
Right, and I think that, like, honestly, one thing that I really realized during it is that, like, at the beginning of the book, I was kind of looking for, like, connections between life in Sierra Leone and life here, and, like, comparing being a 12-year-old there, a 12-year-old here, and then, like, as the book went on, I realized, like, that is completely missing the point. Like, it's not, like, my place to compare myself whatsoever to life over there. Like, there's no similarities. They're really, like, you can't, like, a cheesy metaphor on life between the two countries. There's just really nothing you can do, so you have to go in there and kind of, like, put your own life behind you and just be in this world.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good. I think we, just in our first discussion, we covered a bunch of the questions anyways. So I think we're good. Yes. Alright.